Welcome to a new video, and this time around it's all about the Xperia 1 Mark V and its hidden macro mode. So let's get started. Why I'm talking about a hidden macro mode on the Xperia 1 Mark V? Simply because there is no automatic macro mode and the ultra wide angle cannot be used for macro-like shots. And while I'm talking about macro mode, it's not a true macro mode, it's just a macro-like mode where you can get up very close-up shots. So let's see how this works. So what we have here on the Xperia, let's turn on the camera. In basic mode is the possibility to zoom in, and I can go to 3.5 times zoom, but you can see close focusing distance is not very good here. Even if I go to 5.2 times, it's the same lens, so not very good. But when I go a little bit down here, you can see it is sharp now, and this kind of reminded me of, why not trying in cropping into the sensor? And there's a 2 times zoom option even on the Xperia. Let's get a bit closer, and now I can get macro-like shots with this, which look pretty awesome, I would say. Of course, I could zoom in a little bit more, but you will quickly see that this 3.4 times zoom might get sharp shots and results as well, but not as crispy and clear as the 2 times shots. This is why mostly I'm focusing on this 2 times virtual zoom, which is just like a crop into the main camera sensor. And this is, by the way, how they will achieve the zoom capabilities on the Xperia 5 Mark V as well, just omitting one sensor, because they have the possibility, so many megapixels on the main sensor, that they can simply crop in 2 times. And of course I can also shoot videos with this little trick. Video Pro app, 50mm zoomed in. You can see you can get macro-like video where I have this little bug here sitting on the flower. And thanks to the focusing system, everything is nice and sharp. It's a bit of windy here right now, but you can see it's working fine. I can even zoom in a little bit further if I want to, but the camera quality degrades, and at one point it will switch to the periscope zoom. But here at 69mm, you can see it's also still good. Because of stabilization, it's cropping in even a little bit more than usual. And yeah, you can get away with this, I think, even in 4K recording, because there's enough detail still, which looks fine. So you can get macro-like video shots even with the Xperia 1 Mark V, as you can see here. And we will take a look at photos right now. So the photos, we start off with this shot here at 2 times zoom. I can show you the info here. You can see that this is the 6.1mm lens, so the main lens here. It is 12 megapixels, so yes, it is cropping in and then upscaling. Or is it just cropping into the 48 megapixel that it uses for photos? I think it is cropping into the 48 megapixels. When I go to 100%, you can see it looks kind of sharp. It looks kind of detailed there. You can see the little details there. You can see also that towards the sides, it's getting very unsharp there. So only the middle is really sharp. And this is something that you will see all over the place. Like, for example, here, those little flowers here. You can see all the little details of those flowers there. But you can also see that the shallow depth of field is like getting very shallow after a while. So here it's already unsharp and here it is sharp. So it's very important where you set your focus point. But you can get very close-up shots. I wouldn't call them macro shots per se, but they are very close-up shots, or macro-like shots that you can get. And yeah, you can also see some information here. You can see, there's a bit of artificial if you have AI zoom enabled. But you can see little nitpicks and little details that you wouldn't see otherwise in those little flowers and little things. Here you can see I couldn't get the whole stem sharp, but at least I have this bottom part sharp where I was focusing, where you can even see little hair around there, which is quite interesting. And here this cactus, also as you can see here, pretty sharp. It's not over sharpening, I think, which is quite nice. And here you can see the shallow depth of field very drastically. Little flowers, very little flowers. Every smartphone has issues, even in macro mode, with those flowers. So I'm glad that the Xperia was doing so well here. And this as well, very small, very detailed. A little bit over sharpened, I think, there in there. but still very great. And here you can see how far you can zoom in. So this is like 2 times, and I've got very, very close as I could get to this detail here of a tree. And you can see here is a bit unsharp, so here probably was the focus point somehow, and I think this did not nail it 100% here. But see how far away I was, actually, or how it looks like, how close up I was. So this is the little hole that I was photographing, which looks like this. So you can see you can get very, very close up shots. So I wouldn't call it macro shots, but macro-like very much. And this is the shot that I showed you earlier, which is like, this is 3.4 times, I think, zoom. Now I got 100%, you can see it's not really sharp. Yeah, you're a bit closer up, but it's not really sharp, it's not perfect. So the zoom has its limits, and I think the sweet spot is really 2 times. This is 2 times, you can see it's a bit zoomed out, but when I zoom in 100%, you can just see how much sharpness we still have and how good it looks like. And yeah, I would call it a macro-like shot. And it reminds me with the bokeh, especially on the new telemacros that we have on the Xiaomi 13 Pro and the Huawei P60 Pro. Yes, the P60 Pro much, much better. The Xiaomi 13 Pro also much better here. But the Magic 5 Pro from Honor, for example, with its tele zoom lens, it also doesn't have macro capabilities, but can be used somehow because it can get very close-up shots, is very comparable with this one here. This again, a shot with 3.4 times. I can get a bit closer, but you see the details a bit mushy. When I go to the real 2 times zoom, and this, by the way, done in manual mode with P mode and manual focusing, even you can get a bit closer. You have focus peaking, but you also have focus punching, so a little zoom button, which allows you to fine adjust the focus. You can get away with such a shot, which looks much better already. The same goes for this flower here. Hard to take a focus with autofocus, but in P mode you can get very nice details. You can see there's a bit of water still in the flower because it was raining this day. And here, this is what I could get with automatic mode. You can see it's a bit unsharp, slightly bit unsharp, because the autofocus was jumping a bit around. And here, roughly the same. This is with autofocus, and this is with the P mode, and you can see, yeah, quite a nice shot. I would say you can get really close-up shots with this Xperia device, and I really like this. Even in low light, it is still holding up, so I think the 2 times zoom is doing quite a good job. This is ISO 800, and we have a shutter speed of 1/50th of a second. And you can see, yes, even the little dust particles are visible. You can see it is falling apart a little bit because of the higher ISO, but I think it's still clean. Here's a bit unsharp because like the focus point was somewhere here, and you know the focus fall off is quite dramatic. And this impressed me a lot here. This is ISO 2000 now, 150 is very clean still, and you can see all the little details of this rock here. And even, yeah, I tried to focus on the nose here of the salamander, but it was not working. As you can see, it's slightly back focused here, but for autofocus, I think it's a very nice job. And I cannot complain about it. So overall, what does it mean for the ranking? The Xperia 1 Mark V has been on this position here. You look at the main camera photo quality was 4.3, and it has a total score of 4.24. Now, with taking into account that the main camera lens is so good that not only you can use it for 2 times zooming in or cropping in, and you get nice resolution, still nice, yeah, portrait-like shots, but also the macro shots, I will give it 0.2 points more for macro and the crop in good shots. So we have here 4.5 as the main camera photo quality zoom test, and the total rating is going up to 4.28. So 4.24 to 4.28, not a big difference. You can see it stays on the same ranking. And you can also see eventually that I raised the points of the Xperia 1 Mark IV and the Xperia Pro I 0.1 point, because yeah, you can also get like the close-up shots with zooming in, but the quality is not as good. So no difference there in ranking. The ranking stays the same. The points are a little bit different there. Overall, I think the Xperia 1 Mark V has a very capable macro-like shot mode with this 2x zoom. We can get very close-up shots, and I like it so far, especially in video mode. I think it is working even a little bit better than in photo mode, but nevertheless, you get something very good out of the photo mode as well. This is why I think this ranking is justified. But you can write down in the comment section what do you think about this rating and about this feature that I just discovered. That's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and until the next time, bye.